Hey there, neighbors and naysayers. June 17th, 2024. We just got a little bit of liquid sunshine. We're in the middle, or starting the heat dome here. 95 today. It was 101 when I got in the truck at the office today. But it quickly cooled down to 94 once I started moving. Just thought and I know I've done this before, but I'm in the bottom of the Badlands, so the bottom of the bowl. But there's a lot of this slope that is 40%. Some would say we should give it back and plant trees on it. That up there you can see is rather slippy. There's a level spot up there where the cows are standing, and then steep again. You know, our whole farm isn't this, but this portion of it, that's why we call it the Badlands. It's real slippy, it's real droughty, but when it's wet and slips, and I don't know that I've actually seen an active slip, but it has slipped. I really think it was the previous management. It was largely overgrazed back then, and then we've let it recover, and now we've got some trees here and there, and of course blackberries that are the bane of my existence on this hillside. This is an area that I think hard about grazing hogs. I mean, the hogs could tear this up and they couldn't do it any damage other than we'd have to be careful not to denude it, or else we'd get slips again. So we just have to watch what we do here. But the way we graze this time of year, when it gets this tall, is to give them a very little paddock, and sometimes I'm struggling to get enough grass, but you can see the sheep just through those trees. That's as far as they go, and up here, if I had to guess, an acre maybe, but a lot of that's brambles. And then this is what they were on yesterday, same sort of scenario. And go ahead and get it packed down, and it's amazing how much grass this grows now that we've been doing this for several years. Got some organic matter on it, got some roots on it, and it's really started to go. It's a long way from where it needs to be. And actually, one of the worst things we did with this was unrolled hay over it, and we bared it, and then it took a while to grow back, and what grew back was brambles. This was pretty clean when I was growing up. After Dad mowed it all off once we bought it, it was pretty clean, but it's grown back in brambles because of that. Now we've got ways to take care of them. Like I said, I'm not opposed to turning some hogs loose. In fact, it's on my list of things to do, and I haven't done it. I need to take the boys for a walk and see if there's anywhere down in here that I can put a fence through with minimal work along this creek and be able to graze the hogs on the edges. Unfortunately there's a draw here, there's another draw over there, and it comes to a point down there, and then there's a really steep creek bank down in there. So it's a hard piece to manage. I mean, we would typically just fence this out, but you got this Y in here that you got to deal with, and what do you do with it? And so this is the best thing we've come up with, I guess, is just fence it hard, graze it, leave residue, and let it come back slowly, to an extent that we're somewhat beating the brush back. Now, we did hire a cousin of mine to come and brush hog this last year. We may do it again next year, just to keep it kind of beaten back. He's got a brush hog on a skid loader, and he can just go right up there and back down without any trouble, and it doesn't cost all that much when you consider the pasture that we gained. That field there was solid molliflower, rose, and brambles a year ago before he started mowing on it, and now we've got grass. So if we keep doing this, grazing it with the sheep and hitting it hard like this, and mowing it periodically to keep it down, I think we can get it beat at some point. But I don't know, it's yet to be seen. There's always leave it go and just plant trees across it, but for now I'd really kind of prefer to leave it as pasture. There's enough places growing trees in this world. So just thought I'd show you I told Rachel last night, this is our piece of Monroe County, but this is West Virginia at its best. This is the reason why we call it the Badlands, because it's slippy and they're rough to get around, it's rough to move around, it's real tough to build 3-strand fence. I prefer to just graze the cows back here, but just the sheep were close and they needed to have somewhere to go, and so this is where we take them. And actually they're more efficient at grazing the brambles, so why not go ahead and go through here. So with that, I'll say we'll see you next time.